Today we're breaking down a mold inspection report, specifically different mold test and mold test results. What is a mold air pump sample? An air sample mold test captures airborne mold spores from the indoor and outdoor environment using a device called a spore trap. It pulls air through a cassette and collects particles, including mold spores, on a sticky surface. The samples are then sent to a certified lab. By comparing indoor and outdoor samples, we can tell whether the spore levels inside your home are normal, or if there may be an indoor mold issue. What is a swab sample? In some cases, we also take a swab sample. This is used when visible discoloration, staining, or suspected mold is found on a surface like drywall, baseboards, or AC vents. We collect the sample with a sterile swab, send it to the lab, and they test it to determine what type of mold, if any, is present. Swabs don't tell us how much mold is in the air, but they're great for confirming whether visible growth is mold, and what kind. How to read the air sample report. Now, here's the cover of your mold report. But the part you'll want to pay the most attention to is on page 5 and 6. There will be tables that lists the actual spore types and counts found in each location. On page 5 will be a table for sample 1, outside at the front door. This will act as a baseline sample. And on page 6 will be a table for sample 2, inside the house. What you want to look at is the section labeled Interpretation Guidelines. Here, it will tell you whether the levels are acceptable or elevated. If it says elevated, that means there's a potentially harmful mold present in the air at elevated levels. In this case, the levels are very low indoors, which is what we want to see. Now let's take a look at pages 7, 8, and 9. These are visual summaries that make the data easier to understand. On page 7 is the outside sample, baseline. On page 8 is the indoor sample. And on page 9 is a side-by-side comparison of indoor versus outdoor. You'll see mold types listed on the left and bar graphs showing the spore counts. In this case, the indoor sample shows very low levels, which suggests no active indoor mold issues. Swab results. The part you'll want to pay the most attention to is on page 3, that's where the real information lives. This will tell you the surface contamination rating. This will be labeled as either Condition 1, normal fungal ecology, no growth. Condition 2, settled spores, mold spores present, but not actively growing. Condition 3, actual fungal growth, active or past mold growth. In this case, the condition is level 3, which means actual fungal growth. What should your next step be if your mold report shows elevated levels? We work with vendors we trust who can help take care of the issue, or even just guide you on what your next step should be. You can check them out by visiting 2020inspectionsolutions.com/vendors for a list of professionals we recommend. These are people we've worked with and trust to help our clients get honest answers and real solutions.